Good evening and welcome to ILR4 and to the American Grand Prix. I'm your commentator tonight, Jack, but also I have alongside me not Paul McGuinness, not a famous Scotsman, he's sent up in Spain. We've got the Brexit best with us, we've got Jacko joining us, or Jack, ILR4 regular, but he's, to put it bluntly, he does not his favourite tracks, so he's thought he'd keep me company in the box tonight. How you feeling, Jacko?
Brilliant, it's good to be here. I thought I'd skip this one, give one of the reserve guys a chance. No, my luck he's going to put it on pole and go and win the race, but good to be here. I'm excited, dude. Really excited.
Commentary debut for Jacko. Really excited, dude. Really excited. Hopefully Jam Dog is tuning in for that one. But obviously you can see it's a very wet qualifying, heavy rain, extreme heavy rain as well. Was forecasted. It looks like it's brightened up just a little bit. We've got Raven's Revenge reserve driver P1. He's asked not to take part in qualifying, but cheers, bud. Ricky Morris in P2. ILR champion to be, maybe. Looks like he's delivering the goods so far. Crumpet, or in France they say La Croissant, is Monsieur Croissant in P3. MK Bourne in P4. Apex Iceman P5. Bill a 152.5 in P6. Random's distance P7 from Rinky. His main title challenger Yuri Y-Race in P8. Adam Mako making his debut today in P9. DNF'd. Baza P10. Soleil in P11. Just tied. Crazy Final Rob will be pleased. He's in P12. There's a bunch of drivers here. Good few seconds back in the wet conditions. Murdoch, Gasman, TGI Petal going to be ILR 5 drivers next season. And Waves with a 155.4 because he does not like the wet. Have you Paul there, 56. The judge, 2 minutes, 10 seconds behind Paul. And RoboGeep, I believe, is on a lap, Jacko. So time's up. So I'm just going to keep an eye on RoboGP. He hasn't set a time yet. He's plumb last as we speak. So
it's certainly not the conditions they would have wanted, is it, coming into Texas? But
it's not,
unexpected, no, to say the least.
Very much so. His Raven Revenge does go quicker. And RoboJeep's going to cross the line. Where's he going to be placed? A 154.6. So 15th spot there. I'm quite surprised. He normally finds himself in the top 6 or 8 RoboJeep. So we're disappointed with that. He's going to have to fight his way through the field of the slightly slower drivers. But what's your thoughts on the qualifying then, Jacko? It's a bit of a mixed grid like I thought there was. Baza, big shout to him. P4 for Baza.
I was just going to say, yeah.
For 151.9.
The rain really messing things up here. It's nice to see my teammate up in third, Baza up in fourth. And as soon as I say that, he drops to fifth. MK Bond going fastest with a 153. Good lap. But I've heard we're in for a dry race, so it'll be interesting to see what drivers can get themselves up the field as far as they can. Not used to being in these high positions.
Also,
and what the faster guys can do coming from the back of the grid.
Also, what strategy they're going to use as well, Jacko, because available compounds are super soft, and medium. So interesting to see if any drivers will select the hotter compound. We saw Apex Iceman last week in Japan picking mediums at the start. He was on pole as well in wet conditions. He had a disaster, plummeted down the grid with the guys on quicker tyres and couldn't really recover from there. But I mean, if it was me, MK Bourne, we didn't even notice that MK Bourne's pole.
I did mention it.
Well, my bad. Make in P6. Sorry, I was
call yourself an expert. You know, we should swap seats, mate.
I know. Tweeting out the stream, so I can blame myself on that.
Unbelievable.
I don't think it says Apex Iceman jets across the finish line, but I think that's probably a glitch in the game, so he's not going to be able to finish his lap anyway. But Make MK Bourne on pole. I don't know if it's his first ever pole. It might be for an ILR. Absolutely stonking lap there. Second quicker than Rinky. Got also Crumpet in joining us as well. He's going to be racing, but don't really hear too much from him. He's in P4. Basil in P5.
Interesting. I was just going to say, interesting that both of the Mercedes cars running a number 69 on them.
It doesn't surprise me, as we still are. I don't know what's going on.
Time stuck on 0.01.
It seems like it.
Once again, Codemasters, congratulations on a fantastic game.
I think Apex Iceman needs to retire from the session.
Just watching this train of cars go around at the moment behind Baza, but Codemasters have definitely had a nightmare here. The game's frozen on 1 second time remaining.
I think it's a decent issue, Apex Iceman. He may
Yeah.
need to... I'm gonna have to message him on PSN. If not, we'll have to do a one-shot quali in full wet.
In that situation, would MK Bourne keep the pole position?
Well,
For the stats.
You could do, to be fair though, you could do a grid based on that, the top 20. So I could actually do a, custom grid, which is fair.
Yeah. The drivers set their laps.
Wire Race is a lonely car out there. So I'm just flicking around the track, and all the cars are going about 10 miles an hour on DNF, and it's an absolute disaster. I think it's the decent with Apex Iceman.
Whilst we wait for that to sort itself, who do you think is going to win?
There you go. So Apex Iceman was the decent guy, not just a pretty face Jacko. So that's all the issue. But MK Bourne's looking strong. I've got a feeling Raven's Revenge is probably in the wrong tier, but it's good for me to know that now. My money's probably on Rinky, but I'll just give a quick rundown. MK Bourne pole, Raven's Revenge, the reserve driver in second, will not be able to score points. Rinky Morrison third, Mr. Crumpet in fourth, be able to like that, is rival almost, Basil in P5, Apex Iceman 6, Bill P7 making his ILR debut, full debut, Randoms in P8, Yuri in P9, Adam Mako also making his debut in P10, Selene, Crazy Flying Rob and Medoc in 12 and 13, just outside the points. Obviously all these guys are starting on wet tyres and it will be a dry race, so they'll have a free choice of tyres to pick from. It'll be great to see a wide range of strategy here. I imagine Super Soft is probably the way to go, as F1 2017 is. It's a one-stop. If you're not one-stopping, you're probably not going to have a great chance to win unless you're lightning. But hopefully Apex Iceman can rejoin. I don't know if he'll be able to though. It doesn't appear so. Which is a shame for So it appears like Apex Iceman is unable to join, which is actually really unfortunate. But he's had quite a few issues, decent issues. Of course, they'll have to glitch out there. But as the drivers have picked their strategies, they've tweaked their setups. I imagine a lot of them, Jacko, probably went for a dry setup for the race now. But let me just stick on what tyres we've got on for these guys. And whoa! Well,
everyone looks as though they're going for the Super Soft.
I've just flicked it on, yeah, on the telemetry, Jacko. You can flick it on the detail. All drivers, Crumpets on softs. Bit of a quiet word in his ear. I did suggest to go on softs. I'd go on softs. Selene, Dark Horse also in P10 on softs, but the majority of the grid are super soft runners. MK Bourne obviously in first on pole with great lap there. Ravens Revenge in second. Rinky Morris in P3, our championship leader. Probably a win here would almost give him the title now. Crumpets on the softs, the only one inside the top 10 apart from Selene on softs. Bazza super softs, Bill super softs in P6. Be pleased with that and a solid debut. Randoms in P7. Y Racer going very wide out the exit the corner. Adam Mako on the super softs, Selene on the softs, so they're hopefully try and keep the guys in front. Obviously thinks Crazy Flying Rob, Medoc and Gazman maybe a tad slower. Crazy Flying Rob on the super soft. You can see the cars, look at them weaving left to right, getting heat in those tyres. Gasman, P13, reserve driver. RoboJeep, disappointed to see himself down there, but I reckon he can easily claw his way back into the points. Still on the soft tyres, so we're going further into this Grand Prix. TGIP player, Peter, is in P15. He told me he desperately needs to score some points. Apex Center, Matt, we disappointed that in P16. We know he's got the pace. He won in Silverstone earlier this season. Ways in 17th. Ivy Paul in 18th, and the South African, the George, in P19. Good few seconds off the pace, and I don't know if he can, but I hope Apex Iceman can rejoin. His car's not on the grid though, Jacko, so I don't think he'll be able to.
No, I'm looking at 14th place for RoboJeep at the moment. I'll be expecting him to end up on the podium where he is. Gonna stick my neck out.
If
I'm also interested in seeing where Bazza can get to. Starting in P5 is great at defending, but he's not used to starting that high. Let's see what he can do.
Same with Crumpet as well on the soft tyres. Will they get eaten up by the guys behind him? But all the cars have now lined up on the grid as we're set to go, Jacko. I'll take the lead on the start, but then I'll jump you in after the first few corners. But here we are, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out at Kota. US Grand Prix is go. As Ravens Adventure gets a fantastic start on the inside line there, and it looks like he's got the move done already on MK Bourne. And we're going to see further down the field, it does Constantine. It's a bit of wing damage there further down the field.
Bit of contact with Dan, he drops down to 5th, Bazza goes into 4th, and through the S's they go.
Through the S's they go is a Red Bull there. Looks like he hit the curb and got a bit of air, but it's very, very single file. You have to be single file through here, but Jacko, a relatively clean start with Random step to P7, MK Bourne down to P3. Rinky now has the net lead, and he's going to try and sprint out in front. What a start from him. This is exactly what he wanted.
Beautiful. This is playing right into his hands for the championship. This is exactly what he wants.
But Adam Mako as well. Crumpet is an incident with the Crumpet.
Crumpet falling down the order. We'll jump to him now, down in 18th as he spins.
And you hate to see it. Absolute disaster from him.
Yeah, he needs to get his head back on.
He needs to get his head back on. I think it's gone. Hopefully he can stick some mediums on and go the whole race. But Rinky leads this Grand Prix after a very clean start relatively. There's a few chopping and changing. Apex Center though, Jacko, up to P9 already.
Yeah, great start. And RoboJeep behind him in 10th. So Lane losing out to him. You've also got to look at Adam Mako, who's benefited from Dan dropping out the top 10. He's up to 5th. Bazza's still holding on to 4th. Great start.
So a quick look at the winners and losers from the opening lap. Rinky's up 2, MK Bourne's down 2, Adam Mako up 4, Apex Center up 7 positions. So massive, massive jump. What a lap from him, Lance Scholl-esque. And any big losers, obviously Crumpet down 15, Crazy Flying Rob down 6 as well. So not the start they wanted, but there's a long way to go in this Grand Prix. As
you do expect Crumpet to work his way back through the field. I know he's plumb last, but long way to go, 27 laps remaining. A few of the guys cutting the corners in the S's.
I know, I just saw Baz has taken a unusual line there for there.
Hey, it's working for him.
He's going to try and want to keep with MK Bourne if he can do it. If he's doing it at the moment, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
and as
he's
you can
doing
see,
great.
there's already starting to be a little bit of a gap formed between Rinky and Ravers and the rest. This is exactly what Rinky wanted already. He's a good almost like 15 seconds ahead of his nearest rival, Randoms and the Y Racer. So it's a ideal stop for Rinky Morris. He looks to seal that ILR4 title as soon as possible.
And Rinky will know that Ravers can't score any points in this.
Well, exactly, yeah. But Ravers looks like he's in a bit of a zone. I think Rinky's probably going to go to ILR 2 or 3 next season. Obviously, that just showcases how quick he really is. He had a fantastic season.
Been very impressed by him.
Oh.
I mean, I normally race down at the bottom of the grid, but he has been good from what I've seen. Normally waving him by under blue flags.
So a quick flick on the tyres again. I'm just watching the Y Racer train here. Yuri's got a bit of traffic behind him. He just seems to be lacking on that race pace. He's got Apex Center, his teammate, RoboJeep, Selene, TGI Peter, all in this train. They're dropping off the rest of the leading pack. I don't know if Yuri's just lacked a bit of practice, so maybe it's not his track, but I'm sure coming to his own. I know Yuri's got Y Racer's got some great race pace. long race this is, but maybe he's next in the super softs. I don't know. He's trying to make them last.
He will still be in the running for the championship, even if it finishes as it is. But he's got a lot of work to do in the final 2 races.
He hasn't yet. Yeah, let's say he hasn't even won a race this season. That's the thing. So he would literally have to probably win his last 2 races to stand a chance.
Yeah.
I'm just watching some of the cars going through these offset camber corners, and a lot of them are really struggling for traction out the rear. They get a snap of oversteer quite often. This Crumpet has a 3-second penalty. I can't see the Crumpet lasting much longer at this rate.
I have to say,
he's very
disappointed but not surprised.
As Ivy
All
Paul
adds off.
Yeah.
Looks like that's the end of his race. Crumpet moves up to 18th.
He does indeed, but just interesting to see, Jacko. My surprise race pace today is, I have to say, is Bazza. He is keeping with MK Bourne. He's keeping with Raver's Revenge. He is in the hunt. Like, he was your dark horse, and tell you what, he's proven me wrong. He's looking very, very good. But curious question.
He does have his teammate on his tail.
I was going to ask you, if you were Bazza now and you had your teammate fighting for the title, would you let him through at this stage of the Grand Prix?
Not at this stage. He's still right in there behind MK Bourne, and either of the front 2 could easily make a mistake.
MK Bourne has already defended really hard.
Battling. Yeah, and Baz is going up the inside here. He tags his front wing.
As Bill's had a...
And Randoms goes through.
Sorry, just had to cut away there.
Sensibly lets his teammate go.
Just cut away there. Bill, I don't know what's happened to Bill and Crazy Flying Rob, but I just saw Bill hit the pit entry wall. Yeah, so not the ideal start. Bill, I was up and running P6, so that promotes the other drivers. Crumpet's still on the soft, so he's not pitting. Crumpet, do you have wing damage?
Yes. Listen halfway.
It's a long race for the Crumpet, so I imagine he'll probably take the hit and put mediums on 5-6 laps and just go to the end. Mediums don't
exist.
Does
look like it's affecting him through the S's there.
Alright, super softs, ultra softs, well then. Rinky's put a 3-second lead out now, and it's about 7-8 tenths a lap. He is quicker than the rest.
We start looking at the Y Racer train, the Yuri train.
Zadamako's made a great move on Bazza. As Bazza looks going to fight back on the inside, he's going to go on the inside. No love lost here. They bang wheels. They're going side by side now for this double right-hander.
On the outside.
And Zadamako. Bazza's going to try and do it, but I think he's lost a bit of traction on the and he has to concede Zadamako. That's Bazza down to 6. So it's a shame he's dropped off a little bit now, Bazza.
I'm not sure if he picked up a little bit of wing damage when he went for that move on MK Bourne on the last lap.
Yeah,
and Randoms got through.
Speaking of randoms though, Jack, we've got randoms.
I'll tell you what, he's coming back. He's coming back into turn 1. Zadamako. Great move from Randoms.
Great move from Randoms up to P3 now. So see a little bit more of a title charge from Randoms. Slane has left the session. He's had a disconnection, it's unfortunate for Slane.
I think it may well be.
As Gazman's also left the session.
Selene's car still going round.
Yeah, disconnection I'm afraid, but hopefully they can rejoin. It's a bit weird, they've got that glitch when they're in the pit lane. So have a quick look at the comments, Jacko, just in the live chat, see what's going on.
So Robo Jeep up to 8th. Wonder how much further he can get. My eye is still on him, but he is coming under threat from Apex Senate. Ways in the background.
Robo Jeep, he'd be quietly pleased with this, Jacko. He's on the softs. He's not too far up the road from the rest of the guys up in P3 and 4, so he makes these softs last and go as long as possible. They look very good. But I do apologise, I thought it was mediums run here, but that was the last game. It's ultra soft, super soft, soft, so it shows you how much I play this game. But yeah, ultra softs obviously the fastest tyre, so interesting to see most of the grid do go on the super softs.
I'm sure you'll be playing the new one even more.
I can't wait. I don't think I'll be league racing next year.
Yeah, flags at the end of sector 3 there, don't know what that was for.
Ooh, just having a
But the
little
Yori
look.
train has now broken up.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Just having a little look further down the field to give some airtime to TGI Peter and Murdoch, McLaren and Ferrari driver battling for the P11. Not far away from the points themselves, so you know, you can always get some DNFs here. These guys probably going to ILR5 with yourself, Jacko, next season. So I'm sure you'll be looking forward to battling these guys and hopefully getting a few wins over them.
Every race.
Every race. Interesting to see.
Very confident going into ILR5 next season, providing I've got my rear gunner Dan now. It'd be great for us.
Yeah, Dan be one of the favourites, and possibly yourself as well. As TGI Peter squirms a lot coming out the exit of the corner. That's pushed Murdoch left there.
He locked up going into that.
But they're going to go side by side now after the DRS will be open for Murdoch.
It should be a straightforward move down the inside.
As he locks the front
TGI
left.
locked up again.
No, it's just TGI Peter. As Murdoch runs wide, he outbrakes himself. And that just gifts it back to TGI Peter. I'm sure Murdoch will be fuming with that. Oh, I thought he was going to try a little move there. He was thinking about it. It's a technical section, this, and it is. I think a lot of accidents do happen there when you go side by side and drivers want to take the racing line and they want to brake a little bit later. It can be hand in tears quite often.
Well, not much time can be gained, but a lot can be lost through that.
This game is a little bit broken. It's Saint Solain and Gasman still on outlaps. Hate to see it. But Rinky's extending his lead to nearly 4 seconds now.
He's gone.
17.
Alpha 17, Crumpet from the team radio. Whoa! As Crumpet then gets very, very racy. As Ivy Paul is struggling to keep that sour planted. As Crumpet
It's nice to see that there's still battles going on down the bottom of the field.
It is, as Crumpet makes easy work. Ivy Paul had there, swoops around with a front wing damage, and he's up to P17. Crumpet's now on the super soft, so he has pitted. I don't know if they'll last, but I think Crumpet's going to have to rely on a few DNFs to have a chance of getting points, but I do know for a fact Crumpet is a lot quicker than the guys in front of him. So 21 laps left, Jacko. I'm a big fan of the Crumpet. I'm rooting for him. As I'm just watching all aboard the Red Bull train, Jacko, for P7. Robo Jeep is through on Y Racer, so he's on the softs in P7. And Apex
just wonder if that was an orchestrated move.
Possibly. I mean, Yuri's super soft's probably starting to struggle in the next couple of laps.
Different strategies, letting his teammate go.
We saw this. I saw this last week as well, quite a bit in Japan. I think they were both letting each other. They were both letting each other have a go at trying to get ahead, but they just couldn't really do it. They felt like they were holding each other up, whether they were carrying each other along. So it's good to see them helping each other, though. I'm sure Robo Jeep will want to help Y Race as we have our first casualty of the race. Oh no! The curtains are out for the judge. Hate to see it. I think he's probably that's that tricky right-hander. Then the camber sweeps to the left. So maybe just touched a bit of grass on the exit and just flipped it. It's probably my guess there. I'm not quite sure what he's done. It's a shame to see the judge is retired, but the judge, like a few of the other drivers, will be in ILR5 next season. So another competitor for you, Jackie. To get your eye in now.
I'm just looking at Solain. He's rejoined, but he's a long way off the pace. Down in 18th.
Solain's a good lad. It's a shame he's had a disconnection. I'm sure he's.
He'll be disappointed in that.
Yeah, he will be. I'll be disappointed myself. I think everyone would be. As just watching Adam Mako and MK Bourne tussle it, and Adam Mako's up to P4. Well, there.
This is going to be one of those battles that goes on for the entire race. You can see it now.
Yeah, MK Bourne has started out quite well, but he just seems to be a little bit. I don't know what it is, traction or something over. He's struggling. What are you looking at, Jacko?
MK Bourne's rear end was a bit loose coming out the technical bit there.
Yeah, I've noticed out that double left-hander coming out the exit. It's like if you run it too wide and you get on the throttle too late, there's like an offset camber and you can just spin up the rear end.
Yeah.
I've done it so many times in TT. It's absolute nightmare.
Easy. You can force yourself into a spin as well.
Oh, you hate to see it. I hate to see it. Interesting though.
Still that.
Just want to raise a point. don't know if Rinky's made some sort of error, but he's dropped only 2 seconds ahead now, Rave's Revenge. And Randoms is going to be keeping these guys honest as well, only a couple of seconds up the road. So the
I was going to give Randoms a little mention actually. He's holding his own there in third, technically second.
He's
going well as he cuts the corner. We didn't see that.
Let's have a quick look at some fastest laps. Someone's left the session. Asked them not to. Fastest laps, Rinky 38.1, and considerably faster than the rest of the field, really. Unbelievable pace from Rinky. He's a good 6-7 times faster than anyone else. Let's have a look at the stops. Anyone's pitted. Bill, Chris Flying Rob, Crumpet, and Selene have all pitted. Shame Ivory Pollard hasn't pitted, so it doesn't look like it's going to be his race. So the top 13 are yet to pit, Jacko. And
okay. Just give a mention to Bazza. He's still hanging on to Adam and MK Bourne, but RoboGP is catching.
He really is, yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting battle. It's quite finely poised at the moment. Obviously, it's as you see a lot of F1 races. It's that sort of stage of the race where you kind of just have to go through the motions, pump in the laps. As Crazy Flying Rob, oh, that's a big one.
Sorry, I've missed that one.
His front wheel turbo.
Where's that? Just before the back straight?
I think so. Yeah, it's just after. It's just in sector 2, after the S's when you go downhill towards the back straight. I think it's an unusual place to lose it.
Yeah.
It's obviously got some grass on his tyres, so I think he's cut it too finely. But careless mistake there from Crazy Flying Rob. I hate to see it.
Of course, no safety car because Codemasters can't make a game that functions it properly.
Yeah, it's absolute shame. I was going to say something else, but just say it's a crying shame. Just on board with Waze. You've not mentioned disaster class Waze much, have we, Jacko? Bit of a quiet race in P10, but he's only 21 seconds off the leader, and
he started down in 19th, but he's up into the points now.
Yeah, good shout to him. He's only a few seconds off the guys up in front as well, so it's going to be a case of what tyres they're going to go on to. I'd imagine super softs. I think. I'm not.
Do you reckon he's on a two-stopper?
Nah, nobody would be doing a two-stopper here. It'd be, I'm just trying to work out if the super soft guys can stretch it to an ultra soft, or we pit early and go in the soft. That's what
I think you might find Crumpet could be on a two-stopper because he's gone from soft to super soft, and they're not going to last.
Nah, I don't think so. No, of course. Obviously, the early pit stoppers and they got wing damage. It's kind of has ruined the race a little bit. It's just a shame that the safety car just doesn't work. Whoa, a little tank stop from Apex sent out that corner I was talking about. It's just a shame the safety car doesn't work.
Opened his gap up as well.
Yeah, it must have been a slight error. As RoboGP on high
Randoms pits.
Okay.
Go on board for this.
I'm on board. He's onto the softs.
He puts on the soft. That'll be to the end.
17 laps on the super softs, doing about 11. So imagine the ultra softs must do about 7 or 8 then. Probably, so yeah. Looks like
they'll come out in front of Waze, just about.
Oh, Toro Rosso.
Behind that train of RoboGP, Senna and Yuri.
Very well placed there from Toro Rosso. They're just getting out in front of Waze. He's got a bit of a clean air to bank in some laps as well. So good stop. As Apex Senna has gone for a spin. I don't know what happened. Absolute travesty there. I don't think he's got any damage, but he needs to be careful here.
Oh.
He needs to be careful when you're going that slow.
Teammates behind him as well. Look at that.
I know, when you're going that slow though, you have to be wary of cars around you. Get off the racing line as quick as possible. But luckily there, no harm done. But
you say when you get a bit of grass on your tyres, it takes half a lap or so to clean them back up, get up to speed.
Especially with no traction, it's like on ice. Just have a look at a quick rundown of the grid. So I think most of these guys haven't pitted apart from randoms in the top 10. That's great. It's got Rinky in P1, Rave's Revenge in P2. Adamako, great. He was in P9 and he's up to P3. MK Bourne, who was on poles, is down to P4. Baz a very solid drive in P5. RoboGP in P6. Randoms who have stopped. So watch out for him. He'll be on the soft, so you can be trying to do the undercut on Rave's Revenge in P7. The Y Racer P8, who's gone very wide there. I don't know what
Y Racer's up to second.
I don't know if Y Racer's got an issue. But Waze is straight up to pit. As Y Racer and Waze are also pitting, so the pit window is open. TGIP at P10, Apex Center also pitting in P11, Murdoch P12. As Y Racer's got a stop go for speed in the pit lane. As you saw, Y Racer and Waze going side by side in the pit lane.
This championship's falling apart, Jack.
Hate to see it, but Waze has got a new wing. RoboJeep is away. But RoboJeep now has got a 10-second pen. If he won't be pitting again, so have 10 seconds added on, which is unfortunate. So that'll be his race. I wouldn't say ruined, but it's going to be very difficult to get a good result now unless he banks in the laps. As we watch Bill coming out in between Waze and Y Racer. Bill pitted very early due to damage. He's going to try and get the move done on Y Racer now, and he has. Oh, great move from Bill there through the S's. As those softs are going to struggle to get up to temperature, Bill had to get that move done. I'm not sure if Bill's going to be able to make these softs last the whole rest of the race.
You're always going to come back at him here as well.
I think so. The fresher soft tyres probably have to. If Yuri won't like that, he's wanted the clean air. He's not going to get it with Bill's Williams in the way. And so Yuri chucks up the inside. You can tell that, yeah. His head's gone in that cockpit a little bit, but it was a good move. Luckily, Bill was wary too.
Get DRS as well. There it is. And he'll complete the move down into the bottom there.
He should be able to get it done. He's just ahead. And he gets that car stopped in time as Bill's. He's still not giving up.
Doesn't want him to have it.
No, he doesn't. But he's.
I think him on his debut.
He's going to have to keep a single file through there. There's also, we're going to have to look at just Wade's not far behind. He's going to keep interested on this. Ooh, as Bill does slide out that corner, that gives Wade's a little opportunity, a little sniff to have a go at Bill.
I must admit, I do like Bill's helmet design. It matches the colours of the car.
Oh! As Bill goes wide on that, going to give Wade's position.
Easy for Waze. Seasoned racer.
Does love a disaster, but he can make a good move. So, you know, just it was off. I didn't really notice it, but Rinky does have a 3-second penalty for corner cutting.
As Bazza takes the lead of the race.
Is this the first time Baz has ever led an ILR race? It might be, Jacko. And what a time!
I do believe so.
For you to be in the comments box to witness this. What a time! We'll give him some airtime. Big shout out to Bazza. He's been here from I think over season 1, and here he is leading his first ILR race. Great to see. He's in ILR5 next season. He'll, I'm pretty sure he can probably bag a few wins, let alone lead a race temporarily. Yeah.
Baz is one of those guys I normally race alongside with, down in 11th, 12th, 13th place. So this is nice to see. This is a lead, not just for him, but for people like myself and Dan. It's great to see.
Yeah, he is of course.
It's not for position, but as he comes into the pits.
He's got a.
He puts the limiter on very early.
Just watching Crumpet and Selene here, going side by side. Jacko in the back straight. Selene's got the DRS. And Selene, Willie.
Dan's going to hold the inside line. He's not going to give it up easy.
He might have to now though.
Selene locks up.
Slight bumper wheels. As Crumpet's going to have a look on the inside again. They're going to pump wheels.
Oh,
it's good though. It's good. Yeah, it's fair. It's all fair. They're respecting each other.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, nothing wrong with that. I like to that. But for me, on my screen, Jacko, Crumpet's tyres, half of them are super soft, half of them are soft. But I think he's on the soft for me. Yeah, yeah. They keep
he's got great balance there.
No. Oh no!
As he spins.
Well, that little tank slug was getting a bit feisty out that final corner. I don't think the move was on from there, but
almost ending his life in the concrete wall there.
I hate to see it, just like fat slagging 130R back in season 2.
As he gets another 3-second penalty and he spins out of turn 1, and that's his race over.
Oops.
Yes. Yes. And Adam Mako in P4. The only one yet to pit so far is RoboJeep in P5 on the soft. So I think knowing RoboJeep, I've got a feeling Jack, he may have a little feeling to stick on the ultra softs at the end. He did it in Malaysia. He went long into the race and stuck on the softest compound there. So keep an eye out on him. 3 DNF, still got 16 runners in this Grand Prix. RoboJeep
I did say at the start, Robo Jeep could be on for a podium.
I don't.
You say he's carrying that penalty.
Oh, that's Yuri. Y race of the penalty.
Oh, Yuri, sorry.
Yeah.
So Robo Jeep's still on for the podium then.
Well, I don't think. I honestly don't know. I mean, we've got Gazman yet to pit and Robo Jeep, so they're the only guys. So he's I mean, he's a second behind P4, so he's going to pit, so 23 seconds. So that's going to put him down to like 9th, 10th, probably. Probably behind Y Racer and Yuri. Oh, Yuri, Y Racer, sorry, and Waze. But, so, I don't think a podium's on, if I'm honest. I just don't think he's had quite enough pace here today for it. But, I think the real battle for the podium is between the top 4 we see now. Maybe MK Bourne.
Yep, MK Bourne's had a good race. Sitting in 6th at the moment. On his own as well.
Yeah, he's not been as fluid he has been in the past. But yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. And that looks like TGIP here. It is. I don't know if he's had a little scuffle with the barrier, scuffle with another driver. It's just can't the exit those S corners. It is tricky to lose the car through that. You can just see him struggling with the grass on his tyres. And that's him unfortunately down to P15 in the McLaren. Well, this represents the true position of McLaren really. And Sauber in last position is P16. Ivy Paul up.
Waze is very close to the back of Yuri.
Okay.
In that battle for 9th.
Obviously my broadcasting, you can see some of the cars appear to have super soft, but as you can see on the left hand side telemetry that most of the drivers apart from Slane are on the soft, so please ignore that fantastic work from Codemasters. They can't seem to put a bloody game together.
What game? Sports game of the year.
This is it. Graves Revenge of she's second penalty.
And this is what we've got to work with.
Well, we do our best, Jack. If we had a working game, imagine how popular it would be as well.
I know. Announce ILR6.
No.
It's coming one of these days.
Keeps growing every season, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Well, not unfortunately for me. Going grey by the day, mate. I think there's like Formula 1 is, Jacko, it seems to be quite spaced out at the moment. The only real battle is Y Racer and Yuri. I keep saying that. Y Racer and Waze. Apologies. So, everyone's pitted now, so imagine on the softs they'll be going to the end.
Bowser's still holding his own.
P7, yeah.
I think when you take Ravers out of the equation, and if Adam Mako doesn't get back, Robo Jeep doesn't get back up to the heights of 5th,
yeah. I think
Bowser will have a top 5.
I think that's what we need to look for as well. Yeah, Robo Jeep when he pits and what tyres he's going to go on to, and if he can make a charge up through the field, that'd be good for us to watch. Get the popcorn out.
Yeah, he can't be that far off a pit stop.
No, surely not.
Around 17 laps now. Yeah.
Sign on board for
but MK Bourne's starting to catch him. But those soft tyres are going off.
Just riding on board with Ricky Morris for a lap, just seeing how he negates this track. He's also running manual gears with ABS on, it appears, but does like revving this car up quite a bit. He likes it quite a slidey car, it appears. He's showing us again how masterclass of this division. Looks like he's on for another win. He had a very sketchy European leg of the season. He dipped a few positions, but I don't know if it's just Asia, something in the water. Good barbecue food in Texas, but he's on a charge again today, and I think maybe I'm calling it a bit too soon, Jacko, but I think I'm going to say, looking at our new ILR4 champion.
Yeah, it's almost safe to say, written in stone. He's got one hand on the cup.
Shame of Random.
Had a great drive today.
Another great drive, yeah, very dominant. He's always looked in control.
And where do you say he's going to next season, ILR2?
I can't really say too much, but it could be a dark horse for ILR2. That's all I'm thinking about it, yeah. Thinking about it.
As he opens that gap up to over 8 seconds now over Ravers.
Just looking at the battle between MK Bourne and Robo Jeep, and I think MK Bourne has got the move done on him, or has MK Bourne made a mistake? No,
MK Bourne's overtaken Robo Jeep, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So obviously those softs are struggling now. So this is the thing, Robo Jeep. He tries to go long in this race, and hopefully he's quick at the end. But I think this issue is he's losing too much time now, and then can you make it back up at the end? You can't really, because everyone's so spaced out. They're not really battling to make up that time as much as you could early on in the race. Gazman is in the pits, so the second to last driver to pit. He did disconnect, which is unfortunate. He's going to bolt on the Super Softs. So yes, Super Softs for the last 10 laps. He's going to rip into these. It's interesting where he comes out, Gazman. Jacko, surprise you, Gazman will be in ILR5 U next season. Gazaman, should I say.
Gazaman, Gaza and Baza. Dream team needed.
The Glaswegian, Gazaman, yeah. Gary Armstrong will be in ILR5. And you've got the Welshman, Baza, Gaza, and Jacko. The Brexit bunch. Get me commentating ILR5 next season.
Just noticed actually Waze is dropping off the back of Yori now. Seems he's had the best of those tyres.
That's true, Apex Senate in P10, but of course, it's worth noting to anyone watching and the drivers that watch this back that Raven's Revenge is a reserve, so he won't be scoring points. So Randoms is a net P2, Adamako P3, MK1 P4, and so on. So Bill is net P10 really, Jacko. So I'll be pleased to maybe get a point for us on his debut.
Yep. And he'll be an ILR5 too.
Probably ILR4, Bill. I'd say. Yeah, I think he can hold his own ILR4.
Fair deal. He's done alright against these guys today.
Oh, yeah,
it's not easy starting your first race.
I think ILR4's got a lot quicker as the season's gone on as well.
Yeah.
I think Bill in Malaysia and other tracks, I think he showed that does have quite a good bit of pace and consistency. Obviously he's not had the rub of the green today. He pitted so early as well, Jacko, remember. He's still P11, so I think he would have...
And it was a wet qualifying as well, so we don't really know his true pace.
Exactly, and just a note, RoboJeep has just come out in front of Y-Racer and Waze, and he's on the Ultra Softs, Jacko. So this is what we've been waiting for. Can he catch Baza? Can he catch MK Bourne? They're a long way up the track though, 15 seconds. He's going to have to pull a rabbit out of his arse, dare I say it, if he's to get anywhere else. But crucially, he's kept in front of Y-Racer and Waze. That's just fantastic pace from RoboJeep on those one softs though. I'm surprised. I thought Y-Racer and Waze would have been up the road from them, but good on him. So he's...
it's just, can you make these last? Because we saw all the super softs coming off after 10 or 11 laps, and he's got, what's that, 10 lap still. Yeah. I can see him catching up to the back of Baza, but I don't know if he'll get past Baza. Like I said earlier in the race, difficult to get past.
As I'm just watching Adamako and Randoms. I know Randoms has made an error, but Adamako's all in his gearbox going to 10-1. The Haas driver on his debut. Random's defense to the inside very hard. It's going to go very deeply, a little bit.
Of course, this is a battle for the podium position.
It's battle for P2.
Yeah.
So Adamako on his ILR4 debut as well. He's mixing it with the boys. He's going to be one. He's sensing blood here. I don't know if Randoms has made a mistake. He is.
He looked brilliant through the S's there.
Yeah, he really did. It's great seeing those cars go at such speed through those corners, but Randoms is prone to a little error now and again, Jacko. As Bill pits, so he'll be on the Ultra Softs to the end. Shame for Bill. Interesting to see if Adamako can have a go now in this DRS section through the back straight. I don't think the slipstream will be working because people have left the session due to disconnections. We have a look now. Random defense hard to the left inside line.
Goes to the outside.
It's going to try and swoop around. Adamako looks like he's got the move done. Lovely move.
Lovely.
And Random's giving him all the room and I'm being fair as well. But yeah, both drivers on soft sides. You can see Random's on super softs, but obviously you can see telemetry that it is softs for both drivers. So excellent move there from Adamako. It's making me think a bit.
Impressed with that. What a move.
What a move, and I think Raven's Revenge...
Get that one on the highlight reel later on.
I think Raven's Revenge has just confirmed to me that he's probably ILR3 as well, Jacko, so we learned something new today, which is good.
Yeah, he had some great pace in the wet in qualifying, and he's kept it on the track in the race.
Exactly.
So I think like Rinky should be going up.
Yeah, Rinky's definitely going up. There's gonna be a few drivers going from ILR4. I think they need to do a little shuffle around. There's gonna be quite a few surprises next season. I think people are gonna be have a bit of epiphany the last few days with certain drivers and drivers lineup. So I think what wasn't gonna be much of a shock, there's gonna be a lot of shocks.
I don't know if you want to cut back to Yuri and Waze, as this battle's getting a bit closer again. Way to the DRS into turn 1.
Ooh, he is looking racy, isn't he?
He is. I think his tyres might have come back to him.
Yeah, you just have to just get out of the dirty air of that Red Bull for a couple of laps, get those tyres cool,
Yeah.
get the brakes cool. Now he's like, you know what, get that engine up, let's go. That's an interesting corner there.
He's found a new line.
Interesting, yeah. After a little look at his laps, he's going to do that all race.
No penalty for it.
Stop go from there.
It's a 5-second stop go. Yeah.
It's also worth knowing, Jacko, that Y Racer does have a stop go penalty. So while the battle on track for position, it's not going to mean too much at this moment in time, really, because Waze has the position based on seconds, the time second penalty for Y Racer. Waze is going to look on the inside. Has he got the move done? We're going to chopper cam for this.
Oh,
Yuri's head's going. That's a bit cheeky. He's touched his rear there. I think he's going to let him go. As he's going to chuck off the inside
left. Back through. Wow, brilliant.
Oh, that's a good move. Yeah, that's a very aggressive.
Just shuts the door on Waze. Fantastic move.
I think Waze was half expecting it. I think I'm on chopper cam. A sensational angle here. As the cars are almost going side by side here. As Waze is not giving this up. He's going to have a look at the inside now.
No.
Into the final corner.
Waze has got to pass the car now. Into turn 16, is it?
I think so. But we're going to hit DRS again to the start-finish line. 7 laps left of this Grand Prix. Chopper cam, excellent footage we're getting here from the helicopter. As Yuri defends the inside line again. It's tight uphill hairpin.
Oh, and they touch.
And they touch again. This is feisty. It's only for P9.
Great to see. Great to see. Also, RoboJeep now within 9 seconds of Baza. He's only been on the Ultras for 3 laps, and he's taken 6 seconds out of Baza.
Oh, I'm sure that'll ball down something nicely. I don't think he's going to have enough life in the tyres to catch MK Bourne, but maybe Baza's something on the cards, I'd say. Maybe he's got a chance on Baza.
Yeah, MK Bourne's another 6 seconds up the road from Baza.
Yeah, I think
that position looks set in stone.
So I think the top 5 are pretty settled down now. Rinky and sensational drivers. I'm just keeping on board with just going to run on board with Waze, see if we can make anything of this P8 position. Not as reckless into that corner. Not as close as he was last time around.
Not this time.
Tell you what though, they were feisty, Jacko, but they were fair with each other. Yeah, they respected each other.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like
we don't mind a bit of contact. We don't mind a bit of contact there.
Don't mind bumping wheels. If you give it, you should get it as well. So
I have to say, both of them gave as good as each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Tough but fair. Y-Race obviously fine for every point he can at this moment in time. He knows the tyres probably slipping away from him. I don't know if he knows if Rinky's in P1. But he's defending very well at the moment. 10-1, let's say Waze just isn't close enough, but he gets a good exit from there. Y-Racer teasing Waze here with this P8 position.
Tell you what, just up the road from this, RoboJeep's found another second on Baza.
Keep an eye on that as Gasman on super soft though is up to P10. So that's a great drive from him. He disconnected as well, so that's great. Bill in P11, Apex Center in P12.
Is he another debutant, Gazaman?
Yeah, he's a reserve driver, but probably be in ILR5 next season.
It's always nice to get a point.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's good to see him in his first proper ILR race as well, because you're gonna see a lot more reserves last few races. We're gonna see Waze is gonna look in the inside. He isn't. As Y-Racer runs slightly deep.
Yeah, he goes wide.
Oh. They are both on the soft tyres. Waze isn't on the super soft. That's just Codemasters working their magic. Oh, don't touch their Waze. That could end in tears in the spin. Oh, I thought...
Waze's rear end is all over the place. I don't know if he likes a looser setup, but he's sticking with Yuri.
He likes it loose. We've been battling for lap after lap, but like I don't know if Waze has any penalties, Jack. I don't know if you can check on the race director, but obviously Yuri's going to get a few penalties, a few second penalties for the stop go. Obviously won't be serving it, so...
Let's see, Waze has got 1 penalty and 4 warnings. 5 warnings, sorry.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the penalty was for, but it was on lap 3, so it's probably a corner cut. Easy done.
Is it a 3 second?
Hold on. It just says penalty plus 2 warnings.
Okay, yeah, so it's corner cutting, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So as it stands, then Waze all he has to stay is like, I think it's saving like 5 seconds of Yuri now, and he'll get P8. Obviously the stop go. So while the battle on track and it's good, they obviously want to battle for that position based on their pace. On paper, it's going to say Waze in P8 if the gap stays as short as it is. Let's keep an eye on RoboJeep as well.
Yeah.
On the super softs. 4 seconds.
He's getting there.
He's getting there.
So the podium is certainly out of reach now, but he'd love to take 6th place off of Bazza. But then getting round Bazza is one of the hardest things you can do.
It really is. Good old Bazza, the main man. Also keep an eye on the Jacko, the battle for P2 possibly. Adam Mako's closing in on Raven's Revenge quite quickly. It's almost less than a second.
What Adam's got to keep in mind is Ravers won't get any points from this. He's just got to keep it between the lines, don't do anything silly.
I think Ravers has also got a 3-second penalty, so for corner cutting. So it's very saucy. But I
wonder if the team have informed him over the radio.
Yeah, it's important. I wonder if they do. Yeah, sometimes Jeff does let you know, but you know how much of a useless tosser that Jeff is. I mean, it's just one thing I don't get about this game is like you have a team, you have an engineer, and for some reason he can't tell you if it's going to rain or not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, is it wet?
Sorry, I can't provide you that information right now. We've had it all before. A load of rubbish.
How much is Jeff getting paid to tell me absolute sweet FA? That's what I want to know.
Solane sets the fastest lap.
Yes. Obviously he's got nothing to play for, but I know he loves doing this sometimes, Jordan. It's Beth's coming up in a couple of weeks, so give him a little shout out now for his birthday if I forget.
Solane's one of those really good inconsistent drivers. Like sometimes he'll be battling for race wins and other times he'll be lounging around the bottom like he is now. He's been unlucky today.
It's looking at Apex Center and TGI Pizza, the battle for P12. We won't be talking about it, but we are. Looking to the back straight, Apex Center, he's not really had the cleanest of races. Battling not where he wanted to be. I thought he would have been higher up, to be honest. I thought he'd been battling the likes of RoboJeep and Y-Racer at least. But there's only a couple of laps left. Just have a look if he can make the move. I think he's a little bit quicker. Also going to have a quick look at the winners and losers this Grand Prix from the qualifying. Adam Mako up 6 positions. As Apex Center is going to try and make a move. And that's a bit cheeky from Apex. He's made contact there, and I think that's probably should really let that. Oh, sliding rear ends there. Slight contact out that final corner. Let's have a quick look at the winners and losers. Waze up 8 positions.
RoboJeep within 2 seconds now.
RoboJeep up 7 positions. Adam Mako up 6. I don't know if you can have a look at the position change, Jacko, and the overall race lineup as it is now. Who would you give driver of the day to? There's a couple of laps left, maybe there's a few changes, but
Rinky's been brilliant out front. 11-second lead as it is now, but he's not had a lot to do. I think Adam Mako probably deserves it.
I tell you what, if you weren't going to say,
and also Bazza.
Yeah, Bazza's done well. He's been at the front end, which has been really nice to see. But I think for his debut, I think the fact that he's come up 6, possibly 7 positions, and some of the moves he's made as well, fantastic. I'm going to give it to Adamako. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to just give it. I think Adamako just edges it.
I'll agree with you there. Baz has lost out throughout the race, but Adamako has gained, so he does deserve it, especially on his debut as well.
Exactly, yeah. Great race. And he could be on for a P2 as well, and he's getting closer and closer to that Mercedes. The reserve driver replacing you, Jacko. I don't think you'd be in P2 when you're in that Mercedes right now, so...
No, I'd be in P1, we all know it. That's what I didn't want to embarrass everybody. That's why I thought I'd come upstairs with you today.
And there's 2 laps left, and we're looking at, for me, 2 battles on track. Jacko, we've got the battle for P2 and also the battle for P6. RoboJeep is in a second of Baza.
Within a second, he'll have DRS down the back straight. Just got to get out of sector 1 now. I think he's going to do it.
So I'm looking at Adamako. Oh, he's going to try and move and Raven's Revenge.
He's done it.
He's going to go around the outside of him. He did this move early in the Grand Prix to Y Racer. He's going to try and hook that apex, not allow him any speed. Oh.
Danny.
I think he's done it. And what a move.
Great move.
Great move.
Switch back to RoboJeep. He's got his DRS wide open behind Baza. Baza defends into the corner. RoboJeep goes wide, but he'll have the inside line.
He's going to have to keep it very nice
and tight now. Baza makes a mistake. There he is up the inside now.
Baza doesn't fight too hard. Oh, he's going to come back though. I like to see that.
Let's go.
This is a final lap of the Grand Prix now, and RoboJeep finally gets that move done on Baza. With 1 lap left. That's RoboJeep up to 6. A big shout out to RoboJeep as well. He's been a bit sore for the Grand Prix.
8 positions he's gained, isn't it?
I know. He wasn't feeling too after the Grand Prix at the weekend. A bit sore. So a fantastic drive, and not feeling too great in P6. So big shout out to Matt there, the Red Bull driver in P6. Fantastic, and also Baza. There's yellow flags in sector 1, and that's MK Bourne. He's lost his wing. What's he done there?
Oh no! We missed that. Did you catch it? I missed it.
I saw him span with no wing. What I'm worried about, did a back marker get involved? Because that was my thinking.
Who was near him at the time? Like, who's in front of RoboJeep?
I was trying to flick through the back markers then. It's hard to say. I mean, I don't really want to say a driver, but I mean, you could argue into the bottom 3 really. I don't know though. It's just the fact that
it's the whole of his wing that's gone.
Yeah,
that's a big impact.
I don't know if he span it, but for me, when I flicked onto him, he had no wing. It was halfway on he was parked sideways on the track. So I mean, I'm speculating. He could have lost it.
Gazzaman's up to 9th.
Big shout
to move on Waze.
Biggest shout. What's happened to Waze? He's plummeted. Big shout to Gazzaman on his debut as well. He'd be delighted with that. As Rinky Morris crosses the line for another valuable 25 points for his driver's towel, another valuable 25 points for Force India in the constructors battle as well, battling with Red Bull. Adamako driver of the day in P2, fantastic.
Great drive.
Raven's Revenge in P3, Randoms in P4. Finally takes on a solid, and RoboJeep in P5, Jacko, a contender for driver of the day after that. As Baza
tell you what,
takes over
that's a P4. That's a P4, isn't it? Because you're taking Ravers out of this. So.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. It's a fantastic drive from RoboJeep P4 net. Baza P5, solid 10 points to Toro Rosso. MK Bourne, I don't know what's happened to make, but absolutely, I'm good for him. P7, he's lost some valuable points. P6 though. That's why I race it in P8.
No, Gazzaman will take 8th.
Obviously, I have to look at some of the penalties at the end of this. Obviously, some corner cut, and then Yuri's going to get
points, and Bill could be on for the final point as well. He'll cross the line 11th, but he'll take 10th. Lane worked his way back up to 12th.
Lane worked his way back to 12th, and I think with Gazzaman and Raven's Revenge, Lane will probably score a point. He'll get 10th.
Do you reckon?
I do know that Gazman and Raven's Revenge are reserved, so that pushes everyone up too. So Bill get 9th, and Lane gets the final point in 10th, really. So, wow, it was an interesting Grand Prix. It was a race of attrition. But Rinky Morris proving once again he's one of the quickest drivers out there, and I'd almost say he's nailed on for that driver's title now, unless something catastrophic happens. 50 points up for grabs. I think he's going to have about a 30-odd point lead So one more win will
Probably.
seal him his first ILR title, first ever ILR4 title. He'll be delighted with that.
Fully deserved as well. From, like I say, from what I've seen at the back of the grid racing around, he's always been the first one to come round and lap me. So he deserves a title from what I've seen.
PJ
Malay, Evan Mako as well.
PJ Malay will be delighted. Beers are out. Tikka masala's on the table for the boys.
Poppadoms and onion bhajis too.
Oh, lovely. Love that.
God bless. God bless.
There we have it. There's our final results. So obviously we've got a couple of penalties from the drivers of stop goes. So I need to look into that. I think it looks like yes, it'll stay the same though. But yeah, there we have it. And Rinky with P1, Adamako P2, Randoms with P3, Robojeep P4, Bowser P5, MK1 P6, Wirus P7, Waze P9, Bill P10. So yeah, obviously.
So Lane does miss out on that point then.
I think so. Yeah. So there we have it.
Sebastian Vettel finishes 13th. Didn't see him for the whole race.
There we have it. Cheers for tuning in, everyone. We've only got 2 more races left now. We're going to go to Brazil and Interlagos next week, and then followed by Abu Dhabi after that for the finale, the battle in the desert. Last time we raced there for a reserve social race, it was actually heavy rain. We'll see if it is there in 2 weeks' time. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me, Jacko, as well from the comms box.
It was really good, dude. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. And hopefully it's coming home, lads.
100%.
Safe travel.